What's been going on? Everybody doing okay? Thumbs up for everybody.
Just preparing to go to Wisconsin tonight.
Yeah, y'all leaving out by plane, right?
We're leaving up 8:13 tonight, going up to Wisconsin to my
My
uncle's.
goodness.
So
And how long is the flight?
that's 3 hours.
Y'all be
So
getting in there pretty late.
when we late, actually they're an hour behind us. So we leave at 8:13. We get in there like 10:15. But it's a 3 hour flight. But because of the time zone change, we'll be in there at 10:15.
Sweet, sweet. Then you get a rental car. You head over to to his house, and then you're there for the night.
Yeah, I got an Uber taking us to his house because
Uber.
he has a car there at the house for us to use.
Oh, okay.
So, and we looked at the renting a car versus a taxi versus an Uber. It was all about the same.
Yeah. Uber.
Uber
I'm.
was a little
I.
cheap. Uber was only like $200 for the whole trip, there and back.
Wow.
Um, Taxi wanted what 240 one way, 288 one way. So I could have rent a car for a taxi cost.
Yeah.
The rental was like 400 for a
How
week.
far is it from the airport to the house?
He's about an hour.
Oh, okay. All right.
So it'd be like going from here to Orlando.
Gotcha. Gotcha. All right. Y'all ready to get started? Here we go. Here's the question and get us started with the discussion. What does it mean to be thankful? Go room. Go room. Go. Oh, look at the baby. There's something to be thankful about. What does it mean to be thankful? There's no right or wrong answer. Somebody pull up Webster, read it right out of Webster if you want to. We're going to spend a whole week being thankful. So what does that mean to be thankful?
Is it to appreciate
Come on, we'll say it again. I didn't hear.
appreciate what you have?
Absolutely.
Turn your volume down, Stephen.
Absolutely. What else? What else? What else does it mean to be thankful?
To acknowledge.
Acknowledge that. There you go. Keep going.
Okay, somebody else can jump in
Yeah,
anytime.
there you go, Cindy. That's how you pass the wand.
Feeling or expressing gratitude.
There you go.
That is Webster's definition.
Very cool. Very cool. Anybody else before I give him my lengthy one here?
Well, I think being thankful is partially coming right back to your current reality.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
you look around, like me, sometimes work will stress me out or people will stress me out, and in order to get right back into the flow, I have to slow down and really look at everything around me, what's happening, and all of the life that's flowing in order to make just that one very moment happen. And it
Yes.
brings me into a place of gratitude and thankfulness.
Yeah.
That's just for me.
Justin
Thanks.
did very good, and he jumped ahead of us. So, what do we do with our thankfulness? He's using it to bring himself back into focus. That's really good. Go ahead, Cindy.
Oh, no, Timmy was doing something. I was looking.
Oh, okay. All right, y'all ready for mine?
I was just going to say before you start, and it might
Yes.
go better afterwards, I'm not sure, but I think I think being thankful gets shortened and diminished to just saying thank you, and it really should be our lifestyle. It should be
Come
how we
on.
live, being grateful, considering, like Justin was saying, if we become more aware of our reality on a regular basis, then that thankfulness, that gratitude should come out of us, just like one of the fruits that we talked about. So it's more than just saying thank you or saying a quick prayer over your food. It's like, do you really mean when you say that? Um, I'll give one quick example. And I'm gonna tell my husband because I don't do this yet. It's not me, but I don't know how long ago he did it, but he switched when we're in a restaurant, and we do that a lot. We go to a lot of restaurants, but or we're in a store, instead of saying thank you or I appreciate it, like what you did. He actually says, I appreciate you to the person that's serving us or waiting on us. And that was a genuine change that he chose to start doing. And you will be so surprised how many people it catches off guard. I love seeing it because they're like, oh, you're welcome, like, because that's gratitude. That's true thankfulness. And you're appreciating another person, you're appreciating what they did. So I just think it's more than just what it gets cheapened down to. That's all.
Well, like any phrase, you can let it be, like in the South, so you'll pass by somebody, right? I'll pass somebody in the office and they'll say, "Hello, how are you doing?" And they really don't want to know how you're doing.
Right.
That's just a saying. Because if I actually stopped him and I said, "Well, this is how I'm doing," and I gave him a 10-point rundown, they'd be like, "Listen, I gotta get back to work." So it is part of that when we just say, "Oh, thank you." It is, it's conversation. It is what it is. But here's a season that we have set aside for us to come back and look at this and see where it lands in our life and our lifestyle, as Kim said, and how we can bring more of that to our life and those to the lives around us. So here's what I came up with. It says this: to be thankful is to notice the good we have been given, then to recognize who it came from, and let that awareness shape how we speak, think, and live. All right, so there's our quote that we're going to start with, right? To be thankful is to notice the good we have been given, recognize who it came from, and let that awareness shape how we speak, think, and live. If I can, I'll put that in the chat. Let's see if I can put this over here. Make it to everyone. Throw it over here and boom. Y'all should have that for you don't have to go rely on just what I said. You can be thinking about it as it breaks down into the sentence there. So I think this is an overall good general idea of what it is to be thankful and to be let that thankfulness take us into our awareness, which has already been mentioned here and already been said in practical, but here we go. So as you got that in your chat and you're looking at it and you're being able to read it, what are some of the things that you are thankful for? I'm gonna do the easy one. Everybody show your beverage. Because we're at a virtual coffee shop. I am thankful for coffee. I'm glad the Father made coffee beans. And I'm aware that it has an impact on my life and those lives around me.
Yeah, Stephen, you got to do the same as Kim and hold it in front of your face.
Oh, look at there. You got a knee high. What flavor?
Grape knee high, yes.
There
sir.
we go. I love grape knee high. Where'd you get that?
When
That's
we
not
went
left over from the general store, is it? Come on now.
Yep, that's from when we went to the general store with you guys, and I got 2 of them and a couple root beers.
And man, you've been holding on to
I think he forgot they were in the drink fridge. The sodas.
them. What was that? About 2 months ago?
Gosh, longer than that.
You think so?
Time
3
for
months?
another adventure.
All right. To be thankful is to notice the good that we've been given. What is some of the good that you have been given? Anybody?
Jobs, food, health.
Wow. Bullet points. Go right ahead. Anybody else? Just run down the list just like that.
Family.
Come on.
What else?
Morgan, did you jump on with your dad? Now your dad's disappeared.
Yeah.
There he is. Oh, okay. I thought he was on the screen and the screen didn't recognize him.
He's trying to get the printer to work to print something.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to print our boarding passes for tonight,
Do that later.
and well, I'm sitting right here next to the printer, so I figured I'd do it now.
All right. Very good. Bullet points. What you thankful for?
House.
To notice
Morgan
the
said,
good-
Morgan said house.
house. There you go.
I think they can hear you on mine.
be
Morgan,
thankful.
is your house in progress?
No.
Not yet,
That's a story for another day.
but you can still be thankful. You will have a house, right? That's what you say.
Hopefully
I
one
have a
day,
Cindy and Steven house.
She has a house right now.
Absolutely.
till I tear mine down and build a new one.
So far, I have not been in a place where I didn't have a roof over my head. So I am very thankful for
Yeah,
what we
I'll
have now,
never
what has
remember,
been experienced throughout my life.
baby.
Hmm.
I'm thankful for the physical body I've been given to interact with the world.
Come
Ooh,
on.
that was a good one.
That is a good one. We are in creation because we come into agreement with the Father that we're here to do what He has asked us to do. That's moving from thankfulness to starting to preach and teach. But that's good stuff right there, Justin. Thank you. Anybody else?
I'm thankful for my village.
Yeah. Come on now. Community.
I had, when I was going through my dark days when before Stephen's surgery, I don't know who it was. It might have been Sadie Robertson, but they said when you get into a place where you're in despair or depression, to think about the things you're thankful for. Get a
Yeah.
heart of so every day I had to think about and tell certain people that were reaching out and praying with me how thankful I was for them. So it ends up being you're thankful for your village.
Very good. Very good.
I've also
That,
heard, to piggyback on what she said, I've heard it said or shared by a couple of different people, but they have actually done medical science studies
come on
and
now.
brain imaging studies to prove that you cannot experience anxiety, depression, worry at the same time that you experience thankfulness or happiness or praise. They've
That,
shown that in the brain that they cannot coexist. And so think about that. If that's true, then in those times, if we can continue, like Cindy said, to be thankful, to worship, to praise, even when you don't feel like it, that has a powerful effect over anything that's causing us anxiety and worry and depression and those things. It's easier said than done, of course, but I love that not Christian doctrine saying this, like medical science world is saying that thankfulness and happiness and praise and worship supersedes anxiety and worry and depression. I love that.
Makes
So
perfect sense.
yeah, absolutely. They can't exist at the same time. They can't be what's on what you're aware of at the same time. Let's put it that way. All right. Let's do this. I got another one here that kind of goes along with what we're talking about and how it's transitioned. So let me put it out there. A thankful heart doesn't deny the hard stuff. It invites God to sit at the table with the hard stuff and rewrite how we remember it. Ooh. So that's what it's saying, right? When you're going through the hard stuff, we do not have to focus. Our life does not have to be about the hard stuff. We acknowledge it. We say, this is hard. We don't deny it. We're not ostriches. We don't stick our head in the dirt and just ignore it. But in the middle of that, just like what Cindy was saying, she invited God to sit at the table with the hard stuff and rewrite how we remember it. What does that mean? To rewrite how we remember it? Is that just
Can
wishful
you
thinking? Go ahead.
can you repeat the statement you said?
I can. A thankful heart doesn't deny the hard stuff. It invites God to sit at the table with the hard stuff and rewrite how we remember it. I will copy that and put that in the chat as well.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Should be there.
My first thought is that's rewriting our story is our journey of sonship.
Come on.
So I think that's a beautiful line. and that thankfulness just falls right into that. When you go through a hard, you can't see God's perspective when you're in the middle of the hard stuff. So we rely on the Father to keep his perspective, and we have to trust him in that and be thankful for that, knowing that at some point we might see more of the story. We may never see the whole thing, but looking back on things you've come through, think about how you look at it now versus where you were when you were in the middle of it. So I love the concept of rewriting the story.
Yes. Rewriting how we remember it. That's what got me when I was working through this. Rewriting how we remember. Why is that a cop out?
No, I was trying to find on my phone when a friend of mine, Sherry, sent it to me, and I can't remember all the lines, but it'll say, "Don't focus on the storm, focus on Jesus. Don't focus on blah blah blah, focus on Jesus." So if you're doing that, it is going to rewrite the way you remember it.
Absolutely. How about this part of that conversation, part of that thing is we invite God to sit at the table with the hard stuff. Because it's real easy for us to get so focused on the hard stuff that we think that we're going through it by ourselves. Or we think that's the only option that we have. You know?
I've got this.
Oh, okay.
And so when we realize that even if we don't understand what we're going through and we don't understand how that's going to work out, if we can understand that we invite the Father to sit at the table with us with the hard stuff, that changes everything. What has he changed? What have you experienced the Father coming and sitting at your table and rewriting something? What was that experience like? What was that encounter like? Anybody?
Incredible.
Incredible. What a
Yeah.
testimony. Incredible. One word. I love it.
I'm trying. There's so many examples because it's funny we're talking about this. It's been a practice that I've been doing. It's like a practical thing in my daily life as I get caught in loops where I'm a little frustrated with a situation or what's going on. But I know that the situation or the circumstance, the way inside that I'm dealing with it, it changes everything. So in order to get to the place where I'm not a doormat, but I'm also not a person who is going to falter at every little difficulty, I have been, let's say I have to drive 2 hours at the end of my day. What I usually, and I've already worked a 11-hour day.
Wow.
And that would get on somebody's nerves, But for me, it's like I'm holding on to a hope for something else in the future through faith. But besides that, in order to walk through that situation with grace and not so-called bleed out all over people around me at work or get upset with them or treat them negatively or poorly, I go right to first my wife, obviously, we talk about it, and then God, the Father, my Father. And what I do is I go to him in a place where I am totally empty and I am totally not asking for any specific thing. The only thing I ask for is his grace or his viewpoint. Mm-hmm. How are you thinking about this? How do you see this? I need your help. Because right in that moment, there's no other way. I can't handle it in my own power, and I know this. I'm just going to be frustrated, whiny, and I don't like that when that happens. I don't like seeing that. So in that moment when I'm empty, so to speak, of my own expectations of what the solution to the problem should be. Because obviously, if I've got to drive 2 hours after working 11 hours, my solution is I'm going home. I don't want to do this. But his solution may be much different than mine. And
Come
what I
on.
usually find is that this situation doesn't always change. Sometimes it does. The circumstance or situation. Sometimes he moves things. Sometimes he cancels calls when I ask. Sometimes and it's all in his understanding and his power, not mine. So I don't even ask for it. It just happens when I tell him I need his help. And then I've had testimonies where I do this and I'll see an eagle on my drive.
Come
And I
on.
know when I see an eagle on my drive, he's giving me a higher view of it. Because it's not just a random thing. It happens more times than it should be normal. Statistically, it just doesn't make sense. I see eagles everywhere like that. So I know when he shows me that, I'm looking from a higher viewpoint. I'm seeing from above. So he gives me that sight and that understanding from above. And then he empowers me to be joyful and to have peace through the 2 hour drive with the customer. And just kind of, it's not the natural way. It's kind of a supernatural path that allows me and empowers me to go through that situation with him, not by
Come on.
myself. And it's
Beautiful.
wonderful. And it's a practice. It's a
Yes.
practice because sometimes I fail sometimes, but when I realize that I am in that mode and I need help, he's right there. I ask him, boom, he's right there. He doesn't wait. He just waits for me to be ready.
Wow.
Anyways,
Wow.
sorry.
No, you're great. That brings us to another breakdown, not just seeing the gift, but recognizing the giver. So in that moment, you're recognizing, there's a gift on the way. The Father is there rewriting it or helping you, but the recognizing the giver, that is a big thing. And then if we go on, like you said, when you recognize the giver, then you can let that affect our attitude, right? Anybody else? Where have you encountered? What have you experienced? And as Justin said, maybe many, and you may be going back right now through your Rolodex of memories and your Rolodex. Hope everybody's. Timmy, do you know what a Rolodex is? Okay. But you might be going back to your Rolodex of memories, and you're like, well, here's one, but I don't, it's a long time ago, and here's another one, and it was a little bit, here's one that's more recent, but I really don't know how to put the lingo and language. Just if you have one, just pick one, right? And we're going back to what's in the chat. A thankful heart does not deny the hard stuff. It invites God to sit at the table with the hard stuff and rewrite how we remember it. It's a smaller room today. I know that we all don't have to speak. I would like for everybody to speak. Changing the subjects just for a second in the group chat on the phone. Maybe you can see my mom is having trouble getting on, probably needs help. So anybody can help her through that. There we go. Thank you. So it looks like Kim's going to jump on that as we continue. We recognizing the giver of the gift. Now, of course, in this conversation, in this directive of this quote, this is talking about the Father, but what about when the giver is someone we know? And that's not that right word. Thank you for Holy Spirit, because we know the Father. What if it's somebody in creation? Someone in creation comes along and gives you a gift. Can we recognize the gift? Can we recognize the giver?
I still think it comes from the Father.
Sure. Absolutely.
I mean, Stephen was given a word by the Holy Spirit to send to a friend of his the other day. And the friend told Stephen, he goes, why'd you send that? Stephen goes, because the Holy Spirit told me to.
Absolutely. I do believe that absolutely the Father is compassionate. The Father has empathy. The Father wants everybody to know that he knows them. So what he does, a lot of times he will share with his sons and daughters that compassion, that empathy, that here's what we need to do. And then it's up to us to take what he has put on our heart as his burden. Every burden that we have for others is given to us by the Father. What do we do with it? Right? This is practical stuff. What do we do with it? You know, we could be super spiritual and say, and this works, this absolutely works. I do this all the time. We could be super spiritual and just simply say, well, I bless them, which is great. Please use those words, right? But then when Stephen is given, he's seen the Father wanting this message to be given to the friend. And this is, I'm just trying to put it back in words because this is where we get to the idea that Jesus
For
said,
now,
I only do what I see my Father
even
do.
though Stimmy team was right there.
Welcome, Jimmy. We're glad you're here, buddy.
He's in the trays at work.
All right. Oh, okay. Look at that. Thank you for joining us from work. We appreciate that. Until you get ready to speak, can you just mute real quick, or did you want to say something real fast?
No, my apologies. I thought it muted.
That's all right. That's all right. And I think my mom's getting on. Kim, you must have been very good at helping her get there. Welcome, Miss Gloria, aka Mom. Welcome.
Well, good morning.
Good morning. We just for those who join it, we're getting into our Thanksgiving version of Union Cafe, and we've been asking some higher thinking questions about Thanksgiving. We started out with the simple one, what is Thanksgiving? And then from there, you may be able to go to the chat and see the two kind of questions that we're working through. Right now, as y'all jumped on, we were talking about seeing the gift and seeing recognizing the giver and letting that affect our attitude, and how that we were looking for examples in our lives, how that has been played out. So if you have an idea or encounter or experience or understanding where you were going through a hard time and the Father came to your table and during the hard time and help you rewrite that and rewrite how we remember it, please be ready to share that if you can, or if you want to.
I'll give an example. I was sitting here going, I don't want to, but okay. Most of the people in the room, some of you may not know that when my daughter was born, there were lots of complications and lots of problems. And that was a really fearful time for me as well as for my family. And lots of things happened. I was in the hospital for 11 days. She was there for 16 days. She was premature. I'm not going to go into every detail, although I've been allowed to remember every detail, even to this day. But one of the things that happened multiple times until I kind of got a whole picture afterwards, and I think this is where the Father gave me things to focus on and not look at that time totally as fear and terror. And, aside from having a beautiful baby, which I was thankful for, there were little things that happened along the way. Some things I didn't know about until afterwards. Some things I did know about that actually happened to me, and connections that were made in my mind that just said, okay. And this was way before we were on a sonship journey. This was almost 16 years ago. And just to give you a couple of examples, first of all, just the whole miracle that the right doctors recognized the right things. I got to the hospital, wasn't allowed to go home. That alone saved my life. But through the whole incidents, when I ended up on life support for 5 days, and I was in an ICU room, when I woke up from all that and I was taken out of the room and back in. So side story is I also have a brother who was killed in the line of duty as an Orange County deputy, law enforcement officer. Another thing that I went through that the Father has helped me over years go through tragedy and deal with that. So little things, and most people, this might not mean anything to anyone. It was earth shattering to me. Like the first time they wheeled me back to my ICU room.
Come on.
And I looked at the number on my room and I looked at my mother and she goes, I know. And my mother lived through all of this with me. She was there every day. John had some health issues. He was there when he could be. The only room in all of Lakeland Regional that they chose to put me in was the exact number of my brother's patrol car. Okay. Like, and they have dozens and hundreds of rooms. My mother said she didn't know how to take that. Was that good or was that bad at the time? But we obviously lived through it. Their connection. My daughter was born on the 27th. My brother, his accident happened on the 27th. He died on the 28th of the month, but she was born in December. His death was in May. So that's the number 7. If anybody know about that, that's completion. They tell me, I don't really recall this, that laying flat on my back on life support and in a medicated coma, semi-coma, my husband told me this, my mom, that I was using sign language to try to communicate to them. And when that didn't work, that I made a motion for to be able to write. And they brought me a clipboard and a pencil. And in my medicated semi-coma, I'm writing out questions to the doctor about my daughter and about my condition, laying in the bed fully on life support. That doesn't, and everybody was just like, what's going on? Like, this is not normal. I don't recall all that, but those are the things that the Father allowed other people to tell me, say, hey, you don't remember this, but this happened. And then there's little things. And those are examples, I think, of where something that was so big, and I still dealt with fear and memories and lots of things it was traumatic. Those are the things that I can smile now. And I love to tell those stories to people when they're ready to hear them. And just examples of things like that. I think when we go through tragedy, we have to go through it. But on the backside of it, try to recall and ask the Father to show you what you didn't see, what you thought you didn't see. It was all there. Our senses, I was taking it all in. I just didn't have the awareness in the moment. The awareness came later when I was able to process it and put it together. And it makes a different story to remember. It makes a different memory that we can hold on to, and we don't reject it. So that was probably way too much that you needed to know about me, but there you go.
Yay. I'm going to call Kimberly out because every time we get off one of these, she says, oh, I spoke too much. So can y'all give her a thumbs up and let her know that she's allowed to talk as much as she wants, as long as she wants. And this goes for everybody else in the room too. Okay.
I just always feel like I take too long, but there you go.
And if anybody else is fighting that feeling in this room, that's what this room is for us to speak, to talk, to share our experiences and our encounters. So never sit there and think, well, they've already heard from me once today. Maybe I shouldn't share that. Or no, speak, raise your hand, wave at the camera, give me a thumbs up, come into the room and participate. That's all this is for. If we don't do this, then you're just going to get an hour of me rambling on about things that you already heard me say, which is good stuff too. All right. So I got a big heart up there. All right. So we love Kim. We love each one of you. And we want you to share. We want you to take your 5 minutes, your 10 minutes, your 30 minutes and rant about what God has done in your life. Because if we don't share it, we don't know. The rest of us don't know it. All right. So there's what we want to do. Anybody else want to talk about how during the hard times, you recognize that God came to your table and he rewrote how we remember it?
I don't know how I rewrote anything.
If not, we'll move on. In the same line of thought, though, responding, let me say it this way, responding is not just a feeling.
Leah has an interesting testimony about it.
Come on. Share, please.
I'm a little shy, so I'm going to point it towards my husband.
That's fine.
So anyway, when I was pregnant with my son Manny, God kept telling me about a hole in his heart, and I didn't really think anything about it until like he was born. And at the time, people just kept praying for his heart, and I didn't know why. I just was like, well, maybe, they're just praying for him. And I had no idea. And he was like very slow. He was really chill and laid back. And I just thought he was a chill baby. He was so calm all the time. But he had some growth problems. And my best friend at the time, she would make Christian t-shirts, and she made this hat that said Healing Hearts on it. It was her new hat.
Wow.
So I had that hat in my truck. And one day I went to his pediatrician and he had like a checkup, and she was very concerned, and she's like, he needs to go get his heart checked. So I went and I saw the heart doctor, and he was getting tests run, the EKG or whatever. And at the time I was like, me and my oldest son, we were just worshiping Jesus in the waiting room or the office. And this lady came in, and when she came in, she looked so like she was so weighed down by fear. But I wasn't going to let that bother me because I trust Jesus. And she's like, he needs to have an emergency like open heart surgery, and she explained to me, and I wasn't going to allow things to move me from my trust in God, because I knew that he was in control, and I just wasn't going to agree with all that fear.
Come on.
And so they had to call like a surgeon to fly in. It was that serious. And within a week, I took him to the emergency room at St. Joseph's Hospital, and it was his day of his surgery, and he fell asleep in my arms right before they called him back. And when I laid him on the little bed, he was like almost a year old, and I laid him on the bed, and I saw 6 angels with him. I saw them, and they walked him back. This lady was pushing the cart that he was laying in, but I saw these angels with him, and then he went back, and me and my son, we walked around, the whole time. And then it came time to see him, and I remember they took us back to like the recovery area, and it was like pretty cool. They had all kinds of cool gadgets back there. It wasn't like your ordinary. I think it was for like after surgery type stuff. And I saw him laying there with the tube in his mouth and all these wires and everything. It was crazy. But it didn't bother me because I knew Jesus was in control. And I remember sitting there in my pink sweater, and I stayed there the whole time of his recovery. And then I remember a dream I had before I even gave birth to him. I had a dream that I was getting air in my lungs, and I remember waking up, and I was in my dream, and I had the air going in my lungs, and I remember thinking in my mind that this is not appropriate. Like, this air is not doing the best job. It's not breathing the way I want it to breathe, and it was bothering me. And I remember looking around and seeing all this detail in my dream, and seeing the TV screen, and then I saw like the doors opening, and I could think all these intricate thoughts. I was so intelligent, my thought process, and I remember thinking, where's my mommy? And I look over and I seen this woman stand up and wearing a pink sweater. And it was so comforting knowing that God gave me this dream. And the whole way God showed me that I'm in control, even though he's got a hole in the middle of his heart. And so that was my son's journey, and like just that was it. Yeah. And here he is.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for sharing that, because this is part of where I was going. Responding is not just a feeling. Uh, Being thankful isn't only an inner feeling, but it shows up outward. And we do that by honoring. And what your testimony just did was honor. It honored the Father. It honored your Son. It honors you. It honors the angels that were there. It honors it all by speaking it out and letting us be part of that now. That honor is saying thank you. And that's all of us. All of us, when we share and we're able to do these things, it is honoring to the gift, the giver, and recognizing the gift, and letting it affect our attitude, and then letting the responding be more than just a feeling. It's outward. And honor would lead to kindness and generosity and to patience outward as we share these things. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Anybody else want to share a counter experience, something they went through? And on the backside of it, you got Father rewriting the story, or bringing details, as we've seen in our conversation here. The Father brings details to our mind and to our awareness that we wasn't aware at the time. Anybody else?
Well, I do, but I don't know how to do it.
You don't know how to do like put you on the camera, or how to say it?
Oh, I know how to say it.
Well, let's take the technical part out, and don't worry about getting the screen back on there if that was your worry about it. Just go ahead and share it with the Audible. Go ahead.
Well, after that young lady's testimony, mine seems rather bleh.
No, that's not true. Come on.
In the last month, I was very, very, very ill. I continued working, but I knew how sick I was. And one afternoon on the way home, I said, Lord, you know I'm ready. So either heal me or take me home. And he's healing me.
Come on.
He wasn't ready for me. I was ready for him, but he wasn't ready for me. So day by day, I am getting stronger. And I know I'm on my way to wellness.
Listen to that. Come on.
That's about it.
Well, again, we don't compare each other's testimonies, and Miss Leah shared and you shared, and your share is just as impactful as Miss Leah's. But thank you for sharing. And I'll add to that is some of this, going back to let it affect your attitude. I think you're sharing this in practical. And so sometimes we get to a point where we're like, okay, enough is enough. Now, you didn't say that exactly, but that's how I see it. And then we let it affect our attitude, because then we stop saying things like, or we have the opportunity. Listen, we all have the opportunity to stop saying stuff like, I am ill. And we switch that to saying, I am healing.
I am healing.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So we all can do this. You've been down and under the weather, and you go back to work, or you're in the marketplace, or you're at your neighbor's house or whatever, and they'll say, hey, how are you doing? Now, it's real easy for us to say, well, I'm sick. I have a cold. I have sinus problems. I have heart problems. I have all these problems. And that's what they kind of expect to hear. But if you want to see their face change, simply look at them and say, oh, I am healing.
I will do that.
All right. All right. I am healing. And then as you're saying that, that is you as a son and a daughter speaking over your life, speaking over the environment, speaking over the atmosphere. Again, we're not ostriches. We're not denying what's going on. We're not sticking our head in the sand saying this cannot be happening. I will, but what we're saying is, in the middle of it, we will be with Father as he rewrites it and affects our attitude. And we go from saying what we are, that we are experiencing death, destruction, and loss, and we go to start saying we are experiencing love, light, and life. We stop living from the tree of good and evil, and we start living, and we start focusing outward that we're living from the tree of life. And we say, I am healing. All right. Kim's got her hand up. Go ahead, Kim.
No, I was just going to say, if you can go back one screen on the slideshow, I thought that what it said really.
Is that it?
No, go back one more. There you go. That one says, union with Christ transforms even ordinary moments into celebrations of divine generosity.
Wow.
And I felt like that kind of summarized what we're talking about. They may seem like the smallest moments to us, but in Christ and in our healing and our wholeness, they're divine. It's huge. So just wanted to point that out.
I turned off one of my lights for maybe y'all could read it better. Does that still have enough light on me if I keep that off? All right. I'm still working on lighting, and that particular light is not aimed at that. It's aimed away from it, but I saw that the halo was keeping it from reading it. So union with Christ transforms the even ordinary moments into celebrations of divine generosity. Is that not? Listen now, Kim wrote this 10 days ago. She built this slideshow 10 days ago. It's not like, I just don't want y'all thinking Kim's listening and at the same moment she's writing the next screen, to fit what we're saying. Here's the providence of the Father bringing in from 10 days ago into the slideshow to go right around with what we're speaking about and the testimonies that we're experiencing and hearing. Listen, we got 10 minutes before we're at our hour. Does anybody else want to share? So if we start to sum up what we're going through, and I don't want to be the only one to sum it up, but I'll do this. So I'll get back to the room. This is going to put you on the spot, but if something comes to your mind, please share. What has impacted you from this conversation today?
I like the practical we're getting.
Come on. The practical.
That God never leaves us.
Say that again, Gloria.
That God never leaves us.
He
or
does not.
forsakes us.
He does not do abandonment. Those are two big impacts. Anybody else?
One of my favorite lines that I say a lot is we all have a story.
Come on.
It may change, it may transform, but never deny that you have a story that's meant to be told to the world.
Come on. Anybody else? Anybody else impacted by something that was said today? That's all right. It's good stuff. Good stuff. All right. So we're going to be here next week. All right. Steve and Cindy said they will be back in time and they'll come with us too. And everybody else comes. And along during this week, you're going to be rubbing shoulders and elbows with people who've not been in Union Cafe. So you know what you have the opportunity to do? Share a link, share a text, tell them how you've been impacted by this. And you think it's a great place for them to come and be part of? This is sharing the impact. That's why I asked that question. You sharing the impact with somebody is going to go further than just say, hey, you know what? We get together at 10:30 on Sunday morning.
I just want to say, I think he had to leave and because maybe he got a call, but we had Jimmy joining while he's on duty as a first responder.
Come on.
And I don't know if you saw in the chat that he said many firefighters were listening with him this morning. So, that's just amazing to me. And I'm so thankful that we can have even a few moments of impact on people that we've never even met. That's the ripple effect that we've been talking about on Thursday nights. So just really cool. I love this.
And if
anybody
anybody
on the way to the call, and apparently they arrived at it, and that's when he went dark on us.
Gotcha. But let me speak to Jimmy and those men that was with him. We love you. We bless you. And we thank you for the opportunity for you to join us. And anytime that we're live or we're Zoom, please don't hesitate. Come and be with us. I'm trying real hard. I'm fixing to say something that may seem counterproductive, but I'm trying not to be this. I'm trying to make sure that this doesn't become a niche group. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
I love everybody here, and I want those who are here, but I don't want us to say, oh, here comes an outsider. He doesn't understand our language. They don't understand our lingo. They don't understand our culture. Um, you know, maybe this is not for them. No. Right? We are thankful for what we have been through and we want to share those with others. We want others to have the opportunity to come and be impacted by what the Father's done in our lives and for us to be impacted by the Father's done in their lives. So if this ever starts to be a niche group,
I'm sorry.
please help me reassure everybody that this is not for the elite, right? This is not for those who think the way I think or speak the way that I speak or dress the way that I dress or eat the foods that I eat or gather on a certain day to do a certain thing. This is for all of us. All of us that are hearing the Father through the Christ, witnessed by the Holy Spirit, that we are in union with them. Amen. That's who it's for. It's for every single person. Now, even though I said that little blurb about who it's for, there are people who are unaware that they're entangled with the Father. They're unaware that Christ is the center of it all. They are unaware that the Holy Spirit is constantly hovering over them, speaking a witness unto who they are. And those people have the ability to come and be with us. This is not an inside job. Well, it really is. You get healed from the inside out. But this Zoom is not an inside job. This is for our families, our friends, and our neighbors, and our coworkers, and those that we meet in the marketplace. And you just simply say, you know, this is having a big impact on my life. I think you being there would help the situation. Come and be part of it. We want participation. And
I
if
heard,
let's go ahead, anybody.
I'm sorry, John. I heard something because I liked what you're saying, and I like it. It's filled with, honor and love for other people. I heard someone say the good news, the gospel message it's not an elite message. It's going out and grabbing the least of these and saying, I can't do this without you. I need
Come
your
on.
unique instruction here with me. And it does something to my mind to see somebody who is in a place where I have been transformed and no longer think that way. And I see this person and I just desire greatly to help them if they desire the help or to share my experience with them. And then I gain so much from that experience and they gain so much from my experience. So it's humility, it's honor. It's not, like you're saying, it's wonderful. I love it. I love everything you're saying.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And this is just the echo of the heart of the Father that we are. And if you've been running with me anytime at all, you'll know that I say this a lot. We have to be proactive on fighting division. That's why I have a real hard time trying to explain to people what is Father's Chapel, what is Union Cafe, what is the secret place, because in that I have to be very careful that I don't describe it as something that they're an outsider to, that they already have access. That I do want to explain that they already have access. There's no there's no check boxes left. You're in. When Christ said it was finished, he became the center of all humanity. Everybody still follow me? So this is what we get to share.
Do
I
you
love
see
Stephen.
the,
Go
do you
ahead.
see the slide behind you?
No, let me see it. Thanksgiving becomes, let me look over here. Thanksgiving becomes effortless when we see ourselves as heirs, not outsiders. Yeah, I didn't know that was coming. Yeah, I didn't even know. I read all these slides 10 days ago when she sent it to me because she's always like, read the slides, make sure they make sense, make sure they go along with what we're experiencing and encountering. And so at that time I was like, yeah, it's all good. Send it. And so here we are at this moment, sitting with the Father and letting the Father bring in things into our conversation and our time and our togetherness, right? As we gather to bring these love letters to us. Ooh, my goodness. I love
Okay,
you.
I'm gonna jump in
Go
before we
for
go.
it.
I want to know everybody's favorite Thanksgiving dish.
Come on. That's a great way to talk it out.
Sweet potato casserole.
Oh, thanks, Mom.
Sweet potato
Buttered
casserole.
corn.
All the cards.
All the
Stuffing.
carbs. Steven said buttered corn. I love that. Cindy, what was yours?
Cornbread dressing.
Oh, the dressing. As we say in the South, you may say
Right.
stuffing, but
I had to tell Morgan what the difference between dressing and stuffing was.
You may have to explain that to me.
Dressing is cornbread dressing. Stuffing is the other stuff they eat up north.
Oh, okay.
stuffing
Okay.
isn't
Okay.
necessarily made from cornbread. Sometimes it's made from white bread.
Or a mixture.
Yeah, or a mixture.
All right.
I love all the meats. If you've got ham and turkey and all that stuff, I'm happy. It's good.
All right. We all can talk on
Leah.
this. Gloria, what's your favorite?
She already said it.
Oh, I didn't hear it. Say it again.
Sweet potato casserole.
Oh, I thought that was Cindy. I'm sorry. I thought Cindy
No.
said that.
Mine's dressing.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Nobody said
And
pie.
Justin, did you share?
No, but I was just about to say, Leah said ham and sweet potato yams, and then I like pumpkin pie.
Sweet. Sweet.
Yeah.
Timmy?
Timmy, unmute it. What?
Mute yourself there, buddy.
He's working on it.
Okay. Take your time.
What is
I'm
your
a
I'm a
John?
cranberry sauce kind of guy. That's just me.
Cranberry sauce. Now, I'm big into that too.
Ew.
Y'all have
That's
all,
not going.
y'all have all said so much. So much good stuff.
Tell them what you're gonna get as a special treat, John, that is your favorite.
Yes, yes. And it does matter, but who makes it? I love pecan pie. I love all pecan pie.
Pecan.
We'll discuss that at another time when you realize that I am correct.
You little redneck girl.
But Kim's mother, and everybody here I think may know her, she makes a pecan pie that is perfect. It's not too sweet. It's not too unsweet. It's just perfect. It is the perfect pecan pie. And she, even though we're kind of doing all the cooking this year, she's going to still make that pecan pie for
Just
me.
for him. He's so spoiled.
And I will enjoy every bite of it. Anybody else like pecan or pecan pie?
Yes.
Oh,
Oh.
wow. All right. Hey, thank y'all for being here. We'll see you next week if we don't see you before. And everybody, real quick, the group chat. I will still send stuff, but listen, we can use this. I don't know how people feel about group chats. You may get tired of it and turn it off, but it is available through the week too. If you just want to say something, ask something, encourage, whatever, you can. I think we could use that. What do you think? Everybody, thumbs up on that?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Hey. And listen, let me ask you a quick question. 'Cause I don't know if someone else comes and joins us. Can we add them to that group chat, or do we have to start a brand new one to add
Yes.
another name?
Start a
It
new
depends
one.
on if they all have iPhones or Androids.
Oh,
I know we're split because of Steven having an Android. So I have to start a new one every time.
okay. All right. We'll
Well,
face that
excellent.
challenge as we go. Again, I want people to be able to get in there and be part of it and not feel like they're excluded. All right. I love you. Thank you for being here. You have made my morning. I appreciate everybody who spoke, participated, gave testimonies, showed examples, came in and defined what Thanksgiving is and recognizing the gift and recognizing the giver and letting that change our attitude and honoring that. Thank you for being part of that. We love you. We'll see you next week at Union Cafe. We'll talk to you then. Love you. Bye bye.
Happy
Bye.
Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Adios.